Yes, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job. You can see that. On my head is real good.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Ready? Blue ready. Mike 54. Coming live on the 50. Live on the 50.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field of the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Working out of the gun, Winston. Spinning past him, complete to Jones. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area, that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. O.J. Howard, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Here we go. Back.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Off play action. Martinez dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. But Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
To throw is Martinez. Off the play fake. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Here's Martinez, operating from the gun, eluding the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Shaquille Barrett, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know.
And Jameis is going to go down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Yeah, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right now.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. They'll throw this out wide and complete it to Ridley. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Back now in Atlanta's second quarter action, the Falcons with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Freeman. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Off the play fake. Martinez airing it out, looking for Ridley. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground.
Check 24.
Martinez now on third down. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops with it.
And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Check 43.
Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on third. He's got the hook up to Miller. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. A good return there, 17 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Here we go.
A first carry now for Kofradi Muhammad. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast into the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Martinez, off play action, and he gets this one to Ridley complete. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
11 yards there, just like last play.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Flushed out right. And he fires one incomplete. Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. But it'll be 2nd and goal.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, they give to Freeman. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL.
Check 53. Go. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Let's go. Yeah, check 53.
Now Martinez going to throw on 3rd and goal. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That pick hurts a little extra because it was 3rd down. You were already in field goal range.
You know what he's going to hear all night, all next week? Situational football. Understand what's going on because you expressed it perfectly. 3 points were in their hip pocket. They had those. Now, those went by the wayside. You cannot make those kind of mistakes.
It's what you call a rookie mistake. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Jameis to throw it. Tack McKinley in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Well, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. Here now, Brett Maher. He hit from 62 in his rookie season of 2018. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the 1st half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. To throw, Winston. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Anthony Miller there, but now it's 3rd down.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Winston now. He completes this into the hands of Miller. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the 1st half. Here's Bradley Pinion now. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Just a gain of a yard in what all likelihood will be the final play of the first half.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Julio Jones once again the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Squeeze, get in there. Yep, we got it.
From the gun, Martinez. Looking downfield for Jones. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Takk McKinley has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
If there's any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels.
Now Winston. And the pressure gets to him again. In for the sack, Deion Jones.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this 3rd quarter. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
Hey, let's get there. 58. Check. Hey, Alpha.
A first throw for the backup Ryan. And he's taken down. Back at his own. 7.
He's taken down back at his own 8-yard line.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. They run. Devontae Freeman. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on second and long, but now you still have to deal with third and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
To throw is Martinez. To throw on third down. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. Here's Martinez throwing on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Looking to throw. Martinez. Stepping up. He'll try and run. Good yardage there on the scramble, and all of a sudden they're left with a 3rd and 2. Much more manageable. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off. Not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on third down. Makes it manageable now.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Here we go. Set. 60 orange. Watch the screen. 1, 2. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 50. Go.
Martinez now off the play fake. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Here's Muhammad. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Freeman again. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. And this one is right down the middle. And with that, they have taken the lead by a point here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, Winston. He completes it to Evans. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Armstrong. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
Ready. Black, 22. You better be. Hey, 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Spawn.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. That one good for 33 and a first.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Armstrong. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. The tally there, -2 yards. Brings up 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And Gay knocks this one through. And they stake claim to the lead here. It's 10-8. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 22-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. This thrown quickly out to Jones. So they say we'll let that completed pass stand, and we'll bring up 3rd down instead as they decline it.
So they're comfortable with the yardage. The big thing to them is what you pointed out, getting it to 3rd down and making a play there.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 8. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 10 yards there and a 1st down for the Falcons. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points. here in the fourth quarter. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Martinez on 1st down. This complete to Jones. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
On the carry, it's Muhammad, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Ready. 10-2, son. Check. Yes. Let's go, baby. Return up. Let's get that ball. Let's get that ball.
Back to throw.
Let's go, dude.
And that is incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
53, Mike. Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. 25. Check 25. Ready. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike. Echo. 53. Mike, 53. Oh, yeah.
He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Shaquille Barrett in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. On 1st down, Muhammad. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long.
Ready up. 53 is the mic. Here we go. Hey.
He's back to throw. Gets it off to Freeman. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Another carry for the workhorse tonight, Freeman. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line, well short of the first. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is, but how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Hey, flip. 45. Mike,
One last shot now for Winston. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Atlanta, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, they fall for the first time this season after 6 wins to start the campaign. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.